Hi, welcome back to another Pilates video with me, Laura. We are going to do it's about a 20-minute video and it's really focusing on the core and lots of glute work as well. So it's all on the mat. It is quite intense at times, so if it gets too much then just pause it, have a little breather and then come back to it. So let's come down onto the mat. Bring your feet so they're hip width apart, knees nice and bent, and just lower yourself into the mat. Let's make sure I don't fall off my mat. So, just relax yourself down, allow yourself just to melt into your mat. Feet hip width apart, nice and grounded into the mat. And we're just going to relax here for a moment. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Forcing that breath out, and from here we're just going to check in with everything. So our feet are nice and grounded, separate those toes, stretch the feet out, and just check in and make sure the weight's nice and evenly distributed throughout. Then we're going to come up to our knees. They're going to be in line with your hips, so hip width apart, and then we're coming up to our pelvis. Just give it a rock from side to side, do some pelvic tilts back and forth. Get it nice and ready, get it warmed up, loosened up, get that awareness as to where it's placed, awareness of its placement and any movement that's going on. So just from here, if you're still wriggling around, stop now, and we'll just do some pelvic tilt. So completely imprint into the mat, tucking that tailbone under, and then arching through the back. We're only going to do a couple because we're going to go into some bridges in a minute and we'll really focus on it. And then one last one, imprint, tucking that tailbone all the way, arching through the back, and then bringing it to what feels like the middle. Just check in with that core, make sure it's all engaged. You can feel it firing up and working already. Coming up to those ribs, have they popped out? Gather them in the front, pull them down towards those hips. And then coming up to our shoulders, nice and wide, slide those shoulders down away from those ears. If you've had a stressful day, or I don't know, you've been hunched over a desk all day or something, slide those shoulders down and away. And then coming up to the head, just tucking that chin ever so slightly, eyes are nice and heavy in the back of the head. And then from there, we're just going to do a few circles. So imagine you're drawing circles on the ceiling with your nose. Just loosen that up. And just do 2 more here. And then change direction. And just think about that breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. And from there, just relax down. And we are going to get into it. So, just to begin with, we're going to do some half bridges. So we're going to inhale, prepare, and as we exhale, we're going to tuck that tailbone under, really tucking that tailbone under, and we're just articulating the spine up off the mat. We're only coming about halfway. We're not going into a full bridge just yet. We're going to inhale at the top and then exhale, rolling back down, resetting into that nice neutral starting position we had. Inhale there and then exhale, tucking that tailbone under, really trying to spin the tailbone under and show the front of the hips to the wall behind you or the person behind you or whatever's behind you. Coming up halfway and then coming back down again and resetting. And then exhale, spinning that tailbone under, rolling up. Just checking with those ribs, have they jutted out? Keep them pulled down, keep the body in a nice long line, and then rolling back down again. Good. Trying to keep those arms nice and relaxed down by your side. Just to begin with, we've got 2 more here. We're just slowly warming up just to begin with. You should really be feeling those glutes firing. Those hamstrings should be working by pulling that tailbone under. One last one. Just really articulating the spine, really thinking about that spinal movement. And then rolling back down, trying to place one vertebrae back on the mat at a time as you come down. And then come down into an imprint and then reset to that nice neutral position. Okay, this time we're going to go up into our full bridge. So I really want you to inhale to prepare. Check in with those ribs. Keep them nice and gathered, and then as we exhale, we're tucking that tailbone under. You fully imprinted here. You spun that tailbone under and you're rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Those hips are really facing the back of the room. The glutes are fired up, the hamstrings are really fired up. And we've come up into this bridge. The weight should be in your shoulders. It should not be in your head or your neck. Push your arms just gently into the mat, just to engage those arms, because they should be working here as well. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, rolling yourself back down. Good. Now this time when we go up, we're going to do some pulses when we get to the top. And I just want you to think about what your knees are doing. So as we're rolling up now, we're exhaling. That tailbone's really tucked under. Those hamstrings are firing. What have your knees done in that time? Have they splayed out? If they have, pull them in. Put some weight into, press down into the big toes into the mat. And that should just turn those thighs inwards and just keep those knees in line with those hips. We're just going to hold this here just whilst we check in with ourselves. Those ribs, have they popped out? Pull them down. You should be in a nice long line from your shoulders all the way up to your knees. Now from here, we're just going to do some little pulses. So we're going to come down an inch and then we're going to squeeze back up an inch. Good. Really working those glutes from lifting and lowering. If you can, just gently check in with those hips. Is one lowering before the other? Try and keep it nice and level. And we've got 4 more of these to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold that there, and we're going to pulse the knees together. So imagine you've got a ball between your knees. You're going to squeeze that ball together. So really squeezing. Good. Squeezing and then releasing. We're only holding that squeeze for a moment, and then we're releasing. And we've got 3, 2, still breathing. Don't forget to breathe. 1 last one. Okay, come back. Those knees are still in line with those hips. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to roll back down, resetting that vertebrae one at a time. Just hug those knees in towards the chest. Hopefully those glutes and hamstrings are already firing. They should be feeling like they've worked. We are now going to take this up a level, but, excuse me, whilst I just sort my leggings out. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. If this gets too much at any point, just have a breather. I will try and offer some modifications as we go through, but just see how it goes. We're really focusing on those glutes and those hamstrings. Okay, just get yourself ready. Inhale, and as we exhale, we're rolling back up into that bridge. The weight in the shoulders and the weight in the feet. Knees are in line with those hips, they haven't splayed out. And we're just going to lift and lower those heels up together, trying to keep the hips as level as possible throughout. Good. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here we're going to raise one leg. I'm going to go for my right leg. We're going to bring it up into that tabletop position. We're going to keep those hips nice and level, and we're just going to lift and lower. Good. Those hips are remaining level throughout. You've got a nice gentle push in the arms. And we've got 2 more here. 1 and 2. Now from here, bring that leg up, then straighten the leg, and we're going to lift and lower the bum, pointing the toes, keeping that back nice and straight, just lifting and lowering. We've got another 3 here. 3, 2, and 1. Hold that there. Flex the foot. We're going to lift and lower that leg, keeping those hips nice and level. Good. We've got 3 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg back up, bring it down, place the foot in the mat, and then roll yourself down into the mat. See, that was okay, wasn't it? Take that leg. We're just going to bring that leg up. We're just going to walk up and down that leg. Just get a nice stretch through that leg. Just stretching out the leg as we've just done that bit of intense work. Good. And just hold that there. Nice. Now from here, just place the ankle on the opposite knee, push that knee away, thread your hands through, grab around the back of that thigh, and just pull that in close. Have a nice little breather before we do that all again, but on the other side, on the other leg. If you need a bit more here, push this knee away, and that should just increase that stretch. We're just going to hold for a moment longer. Good. And just relax down there. Come back to that nice starting position. Just check in, make sure you've got that nice neutral position. The weight in the hips is nice and level, even on both sides. The ribs are still pointing down, they haven't popped out or anything, and your shoulders are still wide, and eyes are still heavy in the back of the mat. Okay. Inhale, prepare, and then exhale, spinning that tailbone under, squeezing those glutes, rolling the spine up one at a time, coming up into that bridge position, just pushing your arms lightly into the mat. And from here, we're going to go into our heel raises. So both heels at the same time, lifting and lowering, keeping those hips nice and level, looking up towards the ceiling. Good. And then from there, we've got 4 more to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, we're going to take the opposite leg. I'm going for my left leg this time, and we're going to bring that leg up into the tabletop position, and we're just going to go into our toe taps. Hinging at the hip, remember, keeping those hips nice and level. And we've got another 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, we're straightening that leg, we're lowering the bum, and then pushing it back up. Really working those glutes. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, flex the foot, lift and lower that leg. Really going as low as the leg's in line with that hip. And we've got 3. Still squeezing those hips, keeping them level. 1 last one. Nice. Bring that leg back down. And then from there, we're rolling down 1 vertebra at a time back into the mat. Whew. Intense, short but intense, isn't it? Okay, now from here, take that left leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to walk our hands up and then back down. Just feeling that stretch. Trying to enjoy the stretch, enjoy the relaxing part of this. Good, and just pulling that leg ever so slightly closer towards you. If the leg starts shaking, just ease the stretch off a bit. Good. Now from there, relax that leg down. Place the ankle on the opposite knee. Thread your hands through and pull that knee towards you. And just embrace this stretch as well. Relax your head back down on the mat. Take a couple of breaths. Good. From here, just push that opposite knee away if you need a bit more. We're just going to hold this here for a few more moments. Good. And then relax down. Okay. We are now moving on to the core. We've got a little bit of a core warm up, even though it's warm. Just really want us to make sure we're focusing on those deep core muscles. And then we're going to go into a nice series of 5. So place those hands behind your head. Your head stays heavy in your hands when you do this. As we've just taken our hands up, your ribs have probably popped away from the mat. Just pull them back down. Pull those ribs down towards the hips. And we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to curl ourselves up. Our ribs are sliding down towards our hips. Our eyes are gazing in between our knees. And then we're lowering ourselves back down. It's very much a curl up. Elbows are staying wide. Might always creep in. I always have to remind myself, keep those elbows wide. And you're not pulling your head up with your hands. Your hands are just there to support your head. If your neck starts to hurt, then relax your head into your hands. Okay, really thinking about that core, sliding those ribs down towards those hips. We've got 2 more here. Good. One last one. Nice. Okay, now from here, relax those hands down by your sides, and then just float those legs up one at a time in tabletop, engaging that core, tucking that tailbone under and imprinting into the mat. From here, we're just going to do some toe taps, keeping that core engaged, scooping through the belly, so there's no doming or anything going on. Good. And we've got another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Just hug those knees in towards the chest, give them a circle, and then we're going to go into our series of 5. So our series of 5 is just 5 exercises, and we're going to go from one to the next. If at any moment you get really tired, it's too much, just pause. It doesn't matter, you work to your level. Keep that core nice and engaged throughout, and really think about that form. I'll try and remember to shout cues as we go through. But from here, take those legs back up into tabletop. We're going to curl our head and our neck up, scooping through that belly, and we're going to go into single leg stretch to begin with. So just extend one leg away, hug the other leg in, keep those elbows nice and wide, lifting through the crown of the head, eyes facing forwards, and we're going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now from here, keeping that leg tucked in, we're going to flex the foot and we're going to lift and lower, keeping that core scooping through the belly, flexing the foot to lower, pointing the foot to lift, keeping those elbows nice and wide, still lifting up through the crown of the head. We've got 3, 2, and 1. From here, bring that leg back up, pull that leg in, extend the other leg away. Flex the foot, pointing to lift, flexing to lower. Keeping that core scooping through that belly. And we've got 4, 3, nice strong legs, pointing those toes, 2, 1 last one. Good. Now from here, we are going to go into scissors. So we're going to extend that leg out, we're going to keep that leg straight, and we're going to swap legs, still keeping those elbows nice and wide. The legs are strong, pointing those toes, having a nice little pulse. I've lost count, so we're going to do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now from here, bring those legs back up into tabletop. We're going to go into crisscross. So we're crossing over, coming back, crossing over, coming back. We're still scooping through that belly. We're still breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth. We've got 3, we've got 2, and we've got 1. Last exercise. We're going into double leg stretch. So we're pulling both those knees in towards our chest. We're extending away, sweeping those arms around, hugging those knees back in, extending away, still scooping through that belly. Keeping those arms nice and long, sweeping around. Okay, we've got 4, 3, still smiling, 2, and 1. Hug those knees in, lower yourself down, and then from there just extend one leg away, then extend the other leg away, reach those arms away, and just relax. Have a nice little breather there. We're just going to inhale and exhale. Bring those legs back up into tabletop. Inhale again, not tabletop, feet flat on the mat, and exhale. Good. Okay, now from here, we're just going to rock ourselves up. So place one hand behind that thigh, place the other hand behind the other thigh. We're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to engage that core and rock ourselves up to seated. Whew, it's tired. That was harder than normal. Okay, We're just going to sit here, we're just going to do a couple of breaths. We're going to inhale, ribs coming out to the side, shoulders are relaxed, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One last time. Well done. That was really good. I hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.